robing for us.
Excuse me?
Would you mind us robing?
Subscribe. It's now or never, boys and girls.
In the outskirts of Los Angeles, there lived a charming young girl named Sarah. Blessed with beauty that could rival the stars, her heart was set on a grand ambition to become an actress. Sarah's aspirations soared high, fueled by an insatiable desire to make a name for herself in the dazzling world of Hollywood. Her ultimate dream to reach the heights of fame, just like her idol, Marilyn Monroe. Sarah also has a side job as a waitress in a small restaurant. The male co-workers at Sarah's workplace often sneak glances at her body, but Sarah pays no mind to it. She consistently auditions but keeps getting rejected. Meanwhile, Sarah has this bad habit of pulling her hair whenever she feels depressed. One day, she stumbled upon an audition advertisement called Silver Scream from a renowned company and without hesitation, dove right into the audition. In the evening, she showed up at her roommate's party. She wasn't very close to her roommate's friends as they often belittled Sarah. They consistently teased her about starring in their films, but Sarah always turned down the offers. The next day, Sarah joined the Silver Scream auditions. Standing before the judges, she started acting. However, they weren't quite satisfied with Sarah's performance, leading to her rejection.
We saw all we needed, Sarah. Thank you.
Sarah then left the audition room and headed to the restroom. As she went, she indulged in her bad habit, screaming at the top of her lungs. Out of the blue, the judge approached Sarah, who was still in the restroom, and offered her a second chance. The reason being that the judge heard Sarah's shouts from outside and it caught their attention. Sarah bravely returned to the audition venue, where she was asked to re-audition with the condition that she had to showcase her bad habit in front of the judges. Initially hesitant, Sarah, driven by her immense ambition to become an actress, overcame her discomfort and went ahead with it. The next day, Sarah kicked off her usual routine and headed to work at the restaurant while waiting for that audition call. Before long, her phone buzzed, and she dashed out immediately. The restaurant manager noticed Sarah talking on the phone during working hours and called her into his office. Sarah received a warning, but she expressed her decision to quit her job and pursue a career as an aspiring actress. In the next audition, Sarah bravely entered a dimly lit room. As she hesitated, the lights suddenly illuminated, focusing solely on her. The judges then informed Sarah that they wanted her to try something different. The judges asked Sarah to take off her clothes, but Sarah refused because the advertisement didn't mention any nudity scenes. The judges then started threatening Sarah, saying that he would find another actress if she didn't do it. Hearing that, Sarah reluctantly went along with it and stripped off all her clothes, starting to record. Because the room was dark, Sarah had no idea that she was being filmed. The next day, Sarah received a call inviting her to meet with the producer. Excited, she started to doll up, aiming to look as stunning as possible, hoping to land the lead role in the upcoming film. When Sarah stepped out of her room, her roommates looked surprised as she looked exceptionally stunning that night. They teasingly remarked that Sarah's outfit was too formal in their opinion. Unfazed, Sarah hurriedly left, paying no mind to their comments. Upon arrival, Sarah was escorted into the producer's room. She was thrilled, having come this far, and hoped to become a renowned actress one day. The producer engaged in conversation with Sarah, but instead of just chatting, he began stroking Sarah's thigh. They struck a deal, suggesting that the final step to becoming a famous actress involved engaging in a sexual relationship with the producer.
Sarah, this is the audition.
Initially, Sarah was taken aback by the producer's actions. Although tempted by the offer, she quickly brushed off the producer's hand and dashed out. The door was initially locked, but the producer instructed the judge to unlock it and let Sarah go. Sarah immediately headed to her boarding house while shedding tears. Her roommates, who saw Sarah crying, were puzzled. There's this one friend of Sarah who's always so supportive and quick to console her. She asked about what happened to Sarah and couldn't believe that in this day and age, there are still producers doing such things. In the following days, Sarah continued to reflect on the incident that happened to her. However, she began to rise above it and returned to the restaurant where she worked. Sarah apologized to her boss and asked for another chance to work as a waiter. The next day, Sarah was chilling in front of her dorm when one of her roommates approached her, offering Sarah the lead role in his upcoming film. Because Sarah didn't give up on her dreams, she accepted the offer, but with the condition that she would be the lead actress. Her roommates agreed and provided drugs to Sarah. That night, Sarah and her roommates had fun, but Sarah felt uneasy. She went to her room and contacted the producer, letting them know that she wouldn't go through with it. When Sarah arrived at the producer's place, she apologized to the producer for running away, and the producer grabbed Sarah's head and had sexual relations. The next day, Sarah wasn't feeling well but insisted on working at the restaurant. While at the restaurant, Sarah daydreamed and drooled a bit. Seeing this, her boss approached and told her to go home, but Sarah refused. In an unintentional move, Sarah ended up slapping her boss. Her boss instructed Sarah to leave and never come back. As days passed, Sarah's condition deteriorated, sometimes exhibiting strange behavior. She tried reaching out to the producer, but got nothing in return. Sarah's condition is deteriorating, to the point where she's even hurting the feelings of her kind roommate. In a recent dream, she envisioned herself donning a black dress, mocking the challenging situation she currently finds herself in. Day by day, Sarah's condition is deteriorating. She's pulling out her own nails, yanking her hair until she's bald, and experiencing bleeding in her intimate area. In desperation, Sarah reached out to the producer, stating that she feels like she's on the verge of dying. The producer even told Sarah to eliminate all of her friends, claiming that they were just causing trouble for her. Sarah then carried out her plan, eliminating each of her friends one by one. A mysterious group of people approached her, and soon the producer along with his entourage gathered on the hill, reciting a prayer. Sarah was reborn, now in perfect health. It turns out the producer is a devil worshipper, using Sarah as a vessel for the demon he worships. In need of a sacrifice, he instructs Sarah to kill her friends. Sarah returned to her dorm, and upon arrival, the only friend she hadn't killed approached her in her room. She then lay down beside Sarah, and shortly after, Sarah killed her in an unusual manner. In the end of the movie, Sarah is reborn as a beautiful demon.